Hi, Dora. Welcome to the PowerTalk Show powered by Business Talks Weekly. Thank you so much for accepting our invitation and joining our podcast today. I would like to begin by understanding what inspired you to, what challenge you took to build a brand called Dora L International, and who is your client target audience right now.
Thank you so much, Nevin. What an honor to be able to be picked for your show. So I am very, very excited and would love to talk about me, as a business person, a woman for close to, 40 years. So I would love to tell you more about what I'm about and what my company is about. Basically, Dora L started in 1991 and is self-funded. I was a one-man band when I started the business. So it was by accident I started the business, but I'm so glad I did it because now we have over like 50 employees all around the world. Um, so what I cater to is mostly women that are fuller figures. So it's really interesting because I'm from Hong Kong, and my family, my parents' business is a Hong Kong record label that is one of the oldest label that exists in Hong Kong. And we do Chinese opera and also Chinese pop music. So growing up, it was one of my job helping my parents is to dress the singers. They have concerts, they go on promotion tour and being trying to helpful. So I started doing the part that I felt that I can do the best, which is styling them, their haircuts, looking for materials and working with tailors to do the styling of the costumes for concerts. And then part of this journey is going to Milan, to Paris, to shop for them for evening wear. And then I do understand whatever it is, how beautiful the garment is, how much beading it is, that without the right support, really doesn't accentuate the body. And I always understand whatever you wear and your appearance really affects the confidence that you have through the time that you're with people, whether at home or whether you're at the business meeting. So what I thought about is really, like building a house, right? Your house have to have a good foundation. And then on top of it, you do the windows, the painting, it's all cosmetic, right? So therefore, I feel that, having the right foundation or the undergarment is essential for, what carries your body through the day. Therefore, I felt, that's what that really pulls me into doing undergarments, which is lingerie in a beautiful name, right? So as I grow up, I found that, I grew up as a curvy girl. So, and I found out a lot of the lingerie out there is really caters to like skinny, sexy woman, and then I don't have to put the name on it, but all these women who is not slim or feel that, hey, why am I not included? Right. So that's why my mission really was to dress that woman that looked at the poster or ad and say, where am I in this? So therefore, that's why I'm really like catered really towards my mission was to dress that beautiful women who can accentuate the waist and boost up the asset of the body. So therefore, I started into the lingerie business.
Wonderful. So, what I understand, it's like an all size inclusive business.
Yes, because we can neglect also, right? The skinny, the slim one. But there's a lot of customers that are skinny, but they have great bosoms. They can go as far as FGH cup. As bras cups are known by alphabets, right? The really petite ones are like double A, B, and then it goes all the way to, FGH cup and then IJK, right? So therefore, and then the band size is basically the measurements around the base of the bra. So it goes anywhere from 32 up to like 50. So the challenge is not so much doing the smaller sizes, but really how do you give her the support, aesthetic, and I always tell women that I work with Look at yourself sideways in the mirror and look at how high your breasts stand on your body versus droopy, or how do you lift up, because this all can be done by a bra. So that's our mission, is to really make her look beautiful and well supported, but also with comfort. So that's the hard part, instead of putting armor on her bra.
While I was doing a research on your industry, I came across it's a very male dominated industry. It's male dominated industry building apparels for the women. How did you think and how did you take that aspect as a challenge?
Well, as you know, like over 50% of, you know, of the women, I don't know about other parts of the world, but in America, it's 60% of the women. Of course, it might lower a little bit because of Zempic, but there still is a lot of us who we don't want to take, medication, or because you never know the end result of it. So for me, it's really like, your body is beautiful. And how do you make yourself still feel confident without, without feeling, oh my God, I'm so overweight, but you're beautiful, right? And you have to wear the right garment to accentuate your figure so you still have a nice posture and feel like confident and sexy through the day.
Dora, I think what I understand, apparel industry is basically a critical aspect is the fabric. I want to understand what is your process in choosing the right fabric and how do you source the fabric?
So I'm very fortunate because I have an excellent team in product development, and we have a wonderful tech team who is who our head of our innovation and tech is English, and she now resides in Australia. But our designers are in Boston, even though we all don't live in the same city, certain part of the world, but we're able to communicate. And most of my employees or my team has been working with me from anywhere from 20 something years. So we have a total years of experience of 150 years of all my team,
Okay.
right? So that works on the product. So we're constantly looking at trade shows, work with lycra yarns, work with the microfiber producers, and also, what's around for bamboo and also cotton. And there's so much things happening in the innovation part of technology that really can make our job a lot of fun. And then a fabric which used to be a lot heavier now can be woven with special machines that are 40 gauge machines. And lycra is a lot thinner. So we're able to knit fabric that are very thin but still have great power and support, and as well as trims. So now there's like lot of wicking material, different microfibers that have different functions on it. So that really helps with picking the materials that we want to put in the ingredients of the brand.
Understood. And how do you approach innovation and new product development as part of the entire process?
Well, the most important thing is study what's in the market. What are other people, big labels offering? And what's missing out there that's innovative, that really drives the customers to say, hey, I want that bra because this is what's missing out there. So we start from the white space. And from there on, then we all go to a ton of shows, whether it's innovative material shows, yarn shows, and also machines that we can recommend to our factory partners to buy. A lot of them is robotic now, right? So which is really, really interesting because that's like no failure in what they do. Is the least amount of human interceptions into the material, right? So and then from there on, we pick and choose what makes sense. A lot of materials is heavy, so we try and find the lightest material, but still have the great amount of stretch and recovery, because the material we pick need to be molded. Nowadays, everything is seamless as much as possible. So we build molds with heat, which is like a mom and, male and female mold, where we compress into the fabric and form the shape. And after you do that, then you need to know this fabric needs to be stretched and released, because you can't make a bra like a size 50 band this big, right? So what you want to do is have it small, but then it stretches and it comes to a point where this cannot be stretched, and that's how the support is achieved.
Understood. Thank you so much. It's very technical at one aspect. Yeah. So
Don't ever imagine there's like 36 components in the bra. So
yeah,
everything has to be handpicked for the purpose.
so, Dora, what is apparel industry's current biggest challenge, and how are you addressing that challenge through your brand?
So I think price is a big constraint, right? So as you know, anybody in business, retailers, specialty stores is all price driven, right? And then they do what's the margin, what's the markup, whether it's 70% markup, 71, 70, everything makes sense because why are you in business for it? You know, unless you can show your shareholders you're making money, right? So there's so much great stuff out there where it's difficult. So you have to pick and choose, give this up, give that in order to get into the price point that your customer can spend. And then on top of that, you may put a lot of energy and do a lot of research and wear tests on that. But at the end of the day, this is a great product. But I think nowadays, one thing the retailer I feel fail to do is educate the consumers, right? So you have cooling fabric, you have new technology, we have bonding and lightest fabric, lightest bra ever, lightest material like spacer that is yarn knitted through the air. So it's a little scorchy, switchy, but there are things to stabilize it. So I think that if you do talk to consumer and make them understand why are you buying this? Why should you buy this? It's good for your health, the benefits, and also for your posture. I think the sales would be so much better and your numbers will be a lot greater. So let me give you an example. So we did a cooling yarn back maybe like 8 years ago. We used a cooling yarn knit into the fiber of the material. So your temperature and the material you can put on your arm, you can feel the cooling effect. And that bra launched, it was New York City. I was there and it was like 90 degrees in New York City. And then they have this big poster in front of like cooling bra. And in 1 week they sold 26,000 units. 1 week. So when you educate the customer, tell the benefits like wellness and how it does and antibacterial and moisture wicking, all these things will add to the value of your bras, and the customer might pay $5 more or $3 more for the benefit of it.
But it's a good case study, actually, the one that you have just explained. So, as you were discussing sales, I have two questions I need to understand about the industry itself, right? So,
Sure.
the apparel industry and the brand that you are currently building, is it any possibility that you can scale into an e-commerce based, completely e-commerce ship where, because I believe apparel is something people go to a retail outlet, try, and then buy. But is it a possibility that there would be 100% transition to e-commerce?
So let me go back, like probably I think 15 years ago I built my own brand. And it's called Curvy Couture. It was kind of my dream come true because of the price constraint of what I can put into the bra. This was my wish list. What do I wish to be in all the bras that I present to? So what I did, I built this label called Curvy Couture with all the bells and whistles and the beautiful aesthetic and make her look sexy without showing a lot of skin. Right. So what it is, and I did start an e-commerce website and also went to trade shows where I sold to a lot of like the boutiques and e-commerce we were even on my Amazon. So that was really, really successful. But my failure was running out of cash because my stock alone was $1 million, which I think your expertise in data would really help on analyzing sales. As you know, every size you have to have a minimum order of each size. So for us, we have like 48 sizes. So every size you have to stock because you don't want to run out of stock. And every size you order has to have a certain minimum. So therefore, I have a warehouse for stock, but overstocked in the wrong sizes.
So do you feel inventory management is easy if you're offline?
I think we need the perfect IT guy, data guy, which is you, right? So I think that was 15 years ago. And then, so what I end up is I concentrate on my main business, which is all private programs. And that I sold my label. But it was a great experience. I learned a lot. And then, but I hope that the person who bought it would carry forward. But everybody rave about it. And then also it's so expensive to do social media like we do Google search, and it could easily come to $20,000 a week.
And it's a competitive market. It is more of building a marketing based product company and than just a product company.
Yeah, and that's the extra that I
Yeah.
wish I had.
Dora, do you like? I want to understand. Do you white label your products and so that somebody else can sell it as per their brand, or you just sell your product under your brand?
No, I only do products under somebody else's brand. So I make millions of bras for full figure plus size specialty stores, and also to specialty chain store and global brands. So now I'm fully private program. I make for other brands. So it's like business to business.
Okay, so you're completely white label solution bras, and somebody can come and buy from you and then brand it as per their product and sell it.
So what we do, we design and cater to our customers, right? So we as a team think about the next season. So we're already working on 2027, right? Because you have to develop product like at least 2 years of it ahead of time, because the fitting process could take from 8 months to a year. That's how you take to fit with the sizes we work on. Right. So, and then what we do is we do what we call blue sky meeting, where we think this is in the future, we would need this bra in a year and a half, 2 years. And then we put our brains together and search fabric, develop foam pads from scratch, pick the elastic, what works for this bra, and then a whole collection is done to show our customer. And from there on, with a theme, why would they want it? Then the customer will pick what they like. And then we start developing them, fitting them, and eventually they do a test order. So all that process takes over 2.5 years.
Ship. So are you just doing business in states, or do you export out of the US as well?
Unfortunately, I don't have somebody that help me do business overseas. I wish I could, because I could do so much good for my women.
And if you can tell me how big is this industry in the States, and if you have any figure, how much it is big outside the United States?
So in America, this intimate business is over $40 billion. So that's how big the US market is, right? And
Right.
then, of course, what I noticed in Europe, there's a lot of beautiful bras, but they're so expensive that women can only afford to buy maybe 10 bras a year or whatever. But Americans' pricing is a lot lower than a lot of bras from other parts of the world, which is just so much more. Right.
Understood. Hopefully we do. Coming back to my last question, it's more about a personal question, not for your brand, but for yourself. What
Mhm.
has been your biggest challenge in your entrepreneur journey? And what would be your advice to the upcoming designers and entrepreneurs in the fashion and apparel industry?
Well, in any business, it's not only yourself. You have to depend on people who buy your product. My biggest challenge is during COVID that two of my best customers, they went bankrupt. So things that are unforeseeable, like the tariff, right? So now all of a sudden tariff is put on products. Oh, I think that everything, apparel is something that's going to really suffer because, people's margins, everybody's margin is so thin. Right now, thank God, it's down to 10% from different parts of the world, but still that 10% is going to be carried towards the ultimate consumer, which I know in America, like a lot of people live from paycheck to paycheck. It's going to pose, it's going to pose a difficult financial situation. And people, like most people, they pay for gas, they pay for food. That's number one, right? And women always put themselves in the last person to spend money on, right? So unfortunately, I'm concerned about the future of apparel and intimate business. Walmart have already said they're going to raise the price. So that's one of the challenges that was unforeseeable, right? So and sorry, what else did you ask?
The advice that you would like to give to young entrepreneurs, people who are entering the fashion industry and apparel industry? Absolutely. Absolutely. That's some great advice, Dora. Thank you so much again for accepting our invite and joining our podcast. It has been a wonderful conversation, and I have especially learned a lot about apparel industry, women inwear, and fabrics. So thank you so much for your time.